talked a little bit about this Sunday, but it's just such a familiar situation. 2 years ago, you guys went to Champaign, you played Cincinnati, but not only that, Cincinnati's been a team that's been on your schedule every year, really, for quite a while. You couldn't have asked for a more familiar first round.
Well, it makes preparation a little bit easier in terms of getting familiar with your opponent. But you know, with the volleyball tournament bracket being regionalized to a certain degree, there are a lot of teams that end up going to similar places. But for us to be playing the same team in the same venue is a bit unusual. But but the thing that we realized yesterday is with the youth of our team this year, we really only had one or two kids that were really a part of that match 2 years ago. So it is a new matchup for them.
You guys played Cincinnati earlier this year, though. They came in here, I guess they beat you in 4. What did you learn from that match that helps you in terms of preparing for?
Well, the first thing we learned is they're really good. You know, they've been a mainstay in the top 25 this year and still sit currently there. And you know, they were the regular season Big East champs, and they're just so physical. And the thing that they have is at tournament time you need somebody you can lean on. And Stephanie Niemer, their outside hitter, is destined to be an All-American this year, and you know, she's really, really hard to deal with, and we're going to have to do a great job defending to give ourselves a chance to win.
We've talked about this in the past, Travis. This is another one of those program corner turners, almost, so to speak, for you guys. It's a young team, a young group, but how much emphasis do you put that on this group, or do you on this group because they're so young at this point?
Well, I think that getting to the tournament this year can be really big for these kids moving forward, because a lot of these kids are going to be in our program for the next 2 or 3 years. And you know, as much as you tell kids they can, I think them going out and getting to the tournament this year, I think will really be a springboard for us moving forward, because we have a chance to be special in the next few years. And so, you know, I think getting to the tournament this year, having this experience this year, will maybe give us a little bit of a head start moving forward next year. This was a season that, you know, we start 3 freshmen, and next year, you know, depending on how things work out, we may not have any freshmen that we're leaning on. They're going to be seasoned kids, even though they're still pretty young, and we're excited about that.
If you maybe if they were an older group, would you put more maybe of an emphasis on this is a point in this program's history where, like it always is when you guys get into this situation, that if a win here would do wonders for you. But I'm sensing that since they're not as old, it's, you know, let's take it like you're taking the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, getting there, a team that was picked 3rd in its own division, you know, getting there is a huge accomplishment. And to be honest, it's always a big accomplishment, you know, for WKU to get to an NCAA tournament period. We're not satisfied there. We, you know, having had the experience the first time or 2 that we went, you know, you are just glad to be there, and it's just not, you know, where we're at in our locker room right now. We think we can advance, and we know that's the next step that we need to make in trying to be nationally prominent.
For you guys, is there a sense that you can be loose a little bit right now because maybe people didn't expect you to get here, but also given, you know, what the team's been through this season, especially with the trip to Alabama, is it almost like you're playing with house money?
A little bit. It really is a little bit on both those accounts. You know, these kids, you know, anything that happens here for them is gravy, because, you know, again, going through what they've gone through this year and having such a youthful squad is, I don't know that this was completely expected by many people outside of me. I've been saying since August that this was a team that had a chance, and because the talent level's high and the character level's high, and so, and the thing more important than just being loose going in, I'm telling you, we're a team that has continued to get better all the way through the end of the Sun Belt tournament. You know, with so many young kids, we have 2 kids, I can tell you right off the top of my head, 2 kids that kind of hit that breakthrough point throughout the Sun Belt tournament, and are continuing to get better even this late in the season.
I know that each team has its own personality year to year, but this is, you know, even though many of them have not experienced this before, this is your 5th go-round. You're kind of tired of, you know, coming home after one match and ready, because obviously you guys have competed in some of these matches too. I mean, you know, you've been there and had a chance. You kind of ready to put one on somebody?
Well, yeah, it's not enough. It's always rewarding for me to see the kids light up when they get that call to the NCAA tournament, because these are kids that worked at it since they were 9 years old. to get the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament. That's a pinnacle for so many kids. And for me personally, yeah, that's kind of gotten to the point where, you know, I'm ready to make the next step. You know,
Yeah.
It's funny, 15 years ago, the next step for us was to win 10 matches. And then the next step was to have a winning season. And then, and so for me, yeah, there's more things that are possible in this program. And that's what I'm striving for every year. But at the same time, trying to keep focused on the fact that getting to an NCAA tournament from you know, WKU is an amazing accomplishment that I never want to take for granted. And so there's kind of a mix of both of those things.